Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel on Engineering Mathematics by Dr. Navneet. Friends, in this video lecture, our objective is to solve the example based on maxima and minima of function of two variables. So here, before going directly to the example, so let's try to understand that the definition of maxima, then definition of minima. Then we will discuss about the working rule for solving the example based on maxima and minima. So friends, first try to define the maximum of a given function. So a function z is equal to f of xy of two independent variables x and y is said to have a maximum at the point x is equal to a, y is equal to b, if f of ab, this f of ab is the greatest than any other pair of value of x and y in a small neighborhood of a and b. That means f of ab is greater than f of a plus h, b plus k. So this is the simple definition of maximum. Then let's define the minimum of a given function. So a function z is equal to f of xy of two independent variables x and y is said to have a minimum at x is equal to a, y is equal to b, if f of ab is the smallest than any other pair of value of x and y in the small neighborhood of a and b. That means in mathematical notation form, we denote this as f of ab is less than f of a plus h, b plus k. So this is the definition of minimum of a function. So then there is one important term which is called as the extreme value. So value which is either maximum or minimum, such type of value is called as extreme value. That means a maximum or a minimum value is called as extreme value of a given function. So after defining maxima and minima, so maxima and minima are the abbreviations for maximum and minimum. So let's try to understand, next step is to try to understand the working rule for solving the example based on maximum and minimum of a given function. So here working rule, so the total 3 steps are there. So this is the first step, second step and third step. So in the first step for solving the example is that, so whatever given function is there for two independent variable, so first calculate the partial derivative of function f with respect to x, then find out the partial derivative of f with respect to y. So after finding these two partial derivative, so equate this partial derivative to 0. That means partial derivative of f with respect to x is 0, partial derivative of f with respect to y is equal to 0. So we get two simultaneous equation. So solve this simultaneous equation for x and y. That means find out the root of this equation. Suppose a1 b1, then a2 b2, and so on, a and bn are the roots of this equation. Such a roots of this equation are called as, that means a1 b1, a2 b2. So we can write this as a2 b2. Then a and bn are called as the stationary values. So meaning of stationary values are the roots of given simultaneous equation. So that is, these are the stationary value of a given equation. Then this is all about step number 1. Step number 1 means take the partial derivative of given function with respect to x, with respect to y, equate to 0. Solve this to simultaneous equation and find the stationary values. So that means roots of that equation. So after step 1, step 2 is calculate the value of r. So here r means second order partial derivative of f with respect to x. Then s denote the second order partial derivative of f with respect to y and x. So whenever such type of denominator term is there, so then calculate the partial derivative from right to left. So that means first find out the partial derivative with respect to y, then with respect to x. Then calculate the value of t. So here the meaning of t is second order partial derivative of f with respect to y. So this is all about step number 2. Now step number 3. So whatever stationary points we are getting here, so for the first stationary point a1 b1. So for this first stationary point a1 b1, so calculate the value of rt minus s square. So calculate this term. If this value is greater than 0, again calculate the value of r. So this is less than 0. That means rt minus s square is greater than 0, r is less than 0. So in this case, the given function f of xy is a maximum. So this is the condition, rt minus s square is greater than 0 and r is less than 0. So then given function is maximum, and we can easily calculate the maximum value of a given function by f of f max of a1 b1. So that means in original function, so replace x by a1 and replace y by b1. So that is the meaning of calculating maximum value of a given function. So this is the first case. Then a second case is that it may possible that after calculating the value of rt minus s square, so this value is greater than 0 and r is also greater than 0. That means rt minus s square is greater than 0, r is greater than 0. In this case, f of xy is a minimum, and we can calculate the minimum value by f minimum of a1 b1. That means in original function, replace x by a1 and y by b1. So in this function, replace x by a1, y by b1, and so on. So this is the way to calculate the minimum of a given function. Now third case is that after calculating the value of rt minus s square, if this value is less than 0, that means we get negative value. So in this case, f of xy is neither minimum nor maximum. That means this function is not having a minimum or maximum value at the point a1 b1. So such points, so the point where function is not having maximum value or minimum value, then such points are called as saddle points. So saddle point means neither maximum nor minimum. So this is the third case. Then fourth case is that if we calculate the value of rt minus s square and this is exactly equal to 0. So this is exactly equal to 0. That means there is no conclusion. So there is no conclusion. Further investigation is necessary for such type of points. So this is the four important cases under step number 3 to check whether function is maximum and minimum. So this is for the first stationary value, so a1 b1. So similarly we can calculate the maximum, minimum and other these two cases for a second stationary value, third stationary value, and so on. So friends, this is the working rule where 3 steps are important. So I will repeat this. So find out partial derivative with respect to x, partial derivative with respect to y equal to them to 0. Find out stationary value, find the value of r, st. Then calculate the value of rt minus s square. So these two values are greater than 0. So then function is either maximum or minimum depending on r. R is less than 0, maximum. R is greater than 0, minimum. So this is negative, then this is neither maximum nor minimum, that means saddle point, and this is exactly equal to 0, that means no conclusion. So this is all about the working rule for solving the example. Now let's solve the example based on this maximum and minimum of a function of two independent variables. So now let's take the example. So friends, let's take the first example of this video lecture. So question is calculate the extreme value. So extreme value means either a value which is either maximum or minimum, that is called as extreme value for the function x cube plus 3xy square minus 15x square minus 15y square plus 72x. So this is the question which is related to the maxima and minima of a given function. So here independent variables are x and y. That means we are solving example based on two independent variables. So friends, whenever to solve such type of example, so let's denote the given example by f of xy. So we write here variable x and y because only x and y is present. That means given function is having two independent variable x and y. So this function is, this is x cube plus 3x y square minus 15x square minus 15y square plus 72x. Now after denoting given function by f of xy, so our working rule says that, so very first step, calculate the partial derivative of f with respect to x and partial derivative of f with respect to y and equate them to 0. So if we try to calculate the partial derivative of f with respect to x, then this partial derivative is, when we take the partial derivative with respect to x, means y is a constant. So derivative of x cube is 3x square plus this is 3y square, because we are taking partial derivative with respect to x, derivative of x with respect to x is 1, then 3y square is constant, minus this is 15 to the this is 30x, this term is constant, plus this is 72, and according to this step number 1, equate this term to 0. So this is equal to 0. Similarly, calculate the partial derivative of f with respect to y. If we try to calculate the partial derivative of f with respect to y, then x is constant. So this term is constant. So this term is 6xy, derivative of this term with respect to y. This is constant. Then derivative of this term is minus 30y. Again, this term is 0. So according to the step number 1, again equate this term to 0. So let's equate this term to 0. So then after finding these two partial derivative and equating to 0, so solve these two simultaneous equation. So that means solve this first and second equation and try to find out the stationary values. That means pair of roots of given equation. So if we let's call this as equation number 1, let's call this as equation number 2. So from this equation 2, we get the value of this is 6xy minus 30y is equal to 0. If we take the term 6y common, and this is x minus this is 5. So x minus 5 equal to 0. So 5 and 6, 5, 6 are 30. Then we get this is equal to 0. So product of two number is 0. This indicates that either one of them is 0. So that means 6y is equal to 0, or we may say that x minus 5 is equal to 0. So this indicates that the value of y is 0 or value of x is 5. So these are the values of x and y when we solve equation number 2. So put the value of y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 5 in equation 1. So substitute in equation, so substitute this in equation 1. So if we put this value in equation 1, then we get this as, so first we put the value y is equal to 0. So then this equation become, this is 3x square, then this term is 0. So then we can write this as 13x plus 72 equal to 0. So after putting y is equal to 0, this middle term will become 0, then remaining terms remains as it is. Now friends, our aim is to solve this equation. Now if we try to solve this equation and divide by 13, so we get this as x square minus 10x plus this is 24 is equal to 0, right? So 3 2s are 6 and 3 4s are 12. So this is the equation. Now friend, this is quadratic equation. So to find the root of this equation, find the numbers product is 24 and addition is minus 6. So we know that 4 6 are 24 and this is minus, so product become plus and this become minus. That means root of this equation is 4 and 6. That means at y is equal to 0, x is either 4 or 6. Then this is the case when y is equal to 0. So we put this in equation number 1. Similarly, put x is equal to 5 in equation number 1. So again, put x is equal to 5 in equation 1. So if we put this value in equation 1, then this equation become so 5. So this is 3. So 3 into 5 square. Then plus this is 3y square. Then we get this as minus 13 into 5 plus 72 equal to 0. So if we solve this 25 3s are this is 75 plus 3y square minus this is 150 plus 72 equal to 0. So once again, if we try to solve this equation, then this become 3y square, then this is 75 72, that means this is 147 minus 150, that means this is minus 3 equal to 0. So if we take the term y 3 common, then this is y square minus 1 equal to 0. So this indicates that y square is equal to plus 1. That means a value of y is either plus 1 or minus 1. So here when we put x is equal to 5, then these are the values of x and y. So that means after solving equation 1 and 2 simultaneously, we get the stationary values of this equation. So let's denote the stationary values as, so therefore we can write the stationary values are, so first stationary value, so here y is equal to 0, x is 4, so first stationary value is 4, 0. The next stationary value is, this is 6 and y is 0, so this is 6, 0. Then next stationary value, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 1, so this is 5 and 1. And last stationary value is x is equal to 5, y is minus 1, so this is 5 and minus 1. So friends, in this way we get the solution of this maxima and minima problem with the help of step number 1. So this is all about step number 1. In step number 1, we calculate the partial derivative with respect to x equal to 0, partial derivative of y with respect to y equating to 0, and we are solving this two simultaneous equation. We get such type of stationary value. So now friends, after getting this step number 1, let's obtain the step number 2. So step number 2 says that find the value of r, s and t. So let's find out the value of r, s and t. So here the meaning of r is, so this is second order partial derivative of f with respect to x, which is, so that is the definition of r. So now calculate the value of r, f, that means second order partial derivative of f with respect to x. Already we know the first order partial derivative of f with respect to x. Now once again take the derivative of this term with respect to x. This is 6x minus 30. So this is constant because we are taking partial derivative with respect to x. And this is also constant. This is the value of r. Then we can calculate the value of s. So meaning of s is that, so second order partial derivative of f with respect to y and x. That means first take derivative with respect to y, then take derivative with respect to x. So here already partial derivative of f with respect to y is known. So take its derivative with respect to x. So this value is 6y. So this is the only term having value as 6y. So this is constant term. Then calculate the value of t. So here t stands for second order partial derivative of f with respect to y. So that means take one more derivative of this function. So derivative of this function is 6x minus 30. So in this way we obtain step number 2. Now let's try to obtain the step number 3. So what the step number 3 says that, so whatever stationary points you have, so these are the stationary points, first, second, third and fourth. So find out maxima and minima at each point. So if we consider the first point, so here first stationary point is 4, 0. So at 4, 0, at the point 4, 0, so calculate the value of RT minus S square. So here we can write the value of RT minus S square equal to. That means before directly going to this value, so we can solve this example by two ways. So either we calculate the value of RT minus S square and equate that value at 4, 0, or we can find out the value of R at 4, 0, S at 4, 0 and T at 4, 0. So if we calculate the value of R at 4, 0, so we get the value of R at 4, 0. So this is 24, 6 into 4, 24 minus 30. So 24 minus 30. So we get the value of R as minus 6. Then so value of S. So value of S is 6y. That means this is 0 because y is equal to 0. And the value of t. So value of t is x is equal to 4. So this is 24 minus 30. That means this is minus 6. So friends, if we try to find the value of RT minus S square, then we get this as R into T. So R into T. So that means this is minus 6 into minus 6 minus S square is 0. So this is 6 6 are 36 and this value is greater than 0. So as this value is greater than 0, then there are two possibilities. So this is greater than 0, this is also greater than 0. That means either function is maximum or minimum, which is depend on the value of r. But here the value of r is minus. So this is greater than 0 and the value of r is minus 6, which is less than 0. So as the value of rt minus s square is greater than 0 and r is less than 0, so this indicates that given function is maximum. So therefore as rt minus s square is greater than 0, so this is greater than 0 and r is less than 0, so this implies that given function f of xy is maximum. So this function is maximum. Now here again a question is that how to find the maximum value. So maximum value means in original function replace x by a1 and y by b1, we get the maximum value. So for maximum value, so we can write this as f max of a1 b1. So a1 b1, so that means this is f max of, so value of a1 is 4 and b is 0. That means put in the original equation x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 0. So we get this equation as, so this is 4 cube plus this term is 0 because y is 0, minus this is 15 into 4 square, this is again 0 because y is 0, plus 72 into 4. So if we try to calculate this value, so then we get the answer of this term as 112. So here friends, we find the maxima and minima for the first stationary value for 0. Now let's try to calculate the maxima and minima for the second stationary value. So now here the second stationary value is, so let's discuss the maxima and minima for second stationary value. So here the second stationary value is at 60, so at 60, so this is the second stationary value. So now for this 60, calculate the value of r. So r is 6x minus 30, so put the x value as 6, so 6 6 are 36 minus 30, so this value is 6. Similarly calculate the value of s. So here y is 0, so if we put y is equal to 0, then s becomes 0. So then calculate the value of t. So here while calculating the value of t, put x is equal to 6, y is equal to 0. So this is 6 6 are 36 minus 30, so this answer is 6. Then so if we calculate the value of rt minus s square, then this value is r is 6, t is again 6 minus s square is 0. So that means this value is plus 36. So plus 36 means this is greater than 0. Then again two possibilities are there. rt minus s square is greater than 0. So here is also greater than 0. That means either we get maximum value or minimum value. But this maximum and minimum depend on the value of r. R is less than 0 maximum, greater than 0 minimum. So here the value of r and the value of r is equal to 6. So this value is greater than 0. So according to this second condition, so given function is maximum. Therefore given function is minimum, so therefore given function is minimum. Then again question is that how to find the minimum value. So to find the minimum value, so in original equation put the value of x and replace x and y by stationary value. So f minimum is equal to f of a1 b1. So we can write this as a1 b1, so which is f minimum of, so value of a1 and b1 is, this is 6 and 0. That means in original equation, so replace x by 6 and y by 0. So this is again 6 cube plus y is 0, so this term is 0. So minus this is 15 into 6 square, again this is 0 plus 72 into 6. So once again, if we try to solve this equation, then we get answer of this term as 108. That means 108 is the minimum value for the given function at the point 6 and 0. So in this way, we calculate the maxima and minima for first and second stationary value. So now let's calculate the maxima and minima for third stationary value. So now here a third stationary value is, at 5, 1. So that means put x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 1. So here the value of r become, so r is 6x minus 30. So 6 5s are 30 minus 30. So that means this becomes 0. This becomes 0. Then calculate the value of s. So s is 6 into 1 is 6. Then calculate the value of t. So this is again 6 5s are 30. 30 minus 30, so this is also equal to 0. That means if we try to calculate the value of rt minus s square, and this is 0 into 0 minus this is 6 square, that means this is minus 36. This value is negative. As this value is negative, that means this is less than 0. So as this value is less than 0, so this indicates that given function is neither maximum nor minimum. That means given points are saddle points. So this indicates that given function is neither maximum nor minimum. So this is the third case. So we find the maximum and minima at the third stationary point. So let's find out the maxima and minima for the fourth stationary point. So now friends, here fourth stationary point is, so at the point, so first point is 1 and minus 1. Again find the value of r. So value of r is again 6 5s are 30 minus 30. So value of r is 0. So now calculate the value of s. This is 6 into y. So 6 into y is minus 1. That means this is minus 6. Then again calculate the value of t. So this is t. So 6 5s are 30 minus 30. So this value is 0. If we try to calculate the value of rt minus s square, then this is 0 into 0 minus, then this is minus 6 its square. So this is again minus. So this s square is 6. So this is not minus minus plus. So this is separately minus 6 its square. So this is minus as it is, and minus 6 square is 36. Again this is less than 0. As this is less than 0, this indicates that given function is neither maximum nor minimum, or such points are called as saddle points. So therefore neither maximum or nor minimum. Neither maximum nor minimum. So friends, in this way we can easily solve the example based on maxima and minima of a function. So very easy steps are there. So calculate first, second and third step, and we can easily get the solution for maxima and minima of a function of two variables. Now friends, here two examples are given for you for your practice purpose, so for testing your knowledge. So friends, calculate the extreme values for the function first and second. So here two functions are given. So first function is x cube plus y cube minus 3axy. Then find out the extreme value, that means check the maximum and minimum of this function. So now here if we try to calculate the answer, then stationary values are 0 0 AA. So these are the only two stationary values. Then at the first stationary value 0 0, function is neither maximum nor minimum. You will get such type of answer. And for the second stationary value AA, so function is either maximum or minimum, so which depend on the value of a. That means after calculating the value of rt minus s square, we get this as 27a square. So square of any number is positive, so this total term is positive. But here the value of r is 6a, and we are unknown from the term a, so that's why this function is either maximum or minimum, which depend on the value of small a. So then question number 2 is, so calculate the extreme value for the equation or for the function x cube plus 3xy square minus 3x square minus 3y square plus 4. So if we try to solve this example, then we get the stationary value for this example as 0 0 2, 0, 1, 1 and 1, minus 1. So again, at the first stationary value 0, 0, function is maximum, and if we calculate the maximum value, then maximum value is 4. So then second stationary points are 2, 0, that means x is to y 0, so we get the minimum, and minimum value is 0. So then for the point 1, 1 and 1, minus 1, so given function is neither maximum nor minimum. So friends, in this video lecture, we learned the example which is based on maximum and minimum of a given function of two independent variables. So I hope all of you people like this video. So thanks to one and all for watching this video. Thank you.